me pe intro no the way I would describe it Chelsea.
Red card FC. See, Chelsea no crowd me twam. Red card FC. Mentia say. Coach J, na players J. I me smell something fishy. Hey, mentia say.
Team ni twa better na.
Sa na hear me. Because you on say the amount there near a sound weird ni say. According to Oman Kasa coach Mayeska. I said the lab D first yellow card no.
Okay, chere.
I know friends the chairman.
Calm down.
Yeah, but today. Ye di nyede. There be a Richardo Dimitri if you say. Chance the idea will give you a better red card. To me so and then kwan there. Be a clean sheet. Akwe say me. When you cast a major red card, we had the major red card. Not the lap of red card. Chelsea for a day. Red card FC a day. Namusu Wolves and Ra. A Juma me year or ground see. No man coffee abashemu to.
Rich. Na Enra Carabao Cup. Enti yebe starting analysis no. Eddie Efio. To the Chelsea game. Look, Maka actually some Chelsea fans or me now for say. Rich, so we Chelsea team is CI say ewa. Eye team me squad ni okay. Emu do kama. But squad ni mu do no. A lot of young players that will need time and consistency to be the powerhouse player in Chelsea. No, and see Chelsea situation no more this year. No, reach a simple competition with say. That is the reason why Chelsea without a blink and winning the Conference League. No, the competition and confirm time for the serious. Now a bit have to delve deep into their squad to player, and the Chelsea have the upper hand because reach on crowd beer. Omu potential omu nya body bi pombo and it's a Carabao Cup basa na Maraska na yan get now Enra look at Chelsea's lineup say offer team we gidi pa Rich when on a good day obiya fit for Chelsea or best starting none of these players so obiya fit pa none of these players are never starting because Omo abeti me make case for them will be Malo Gusto. Will be a fit and James will start. Apart from that, William. And see, Chelsea are able to change almost in the team and give these young players the opportunity to play in the Carabao Cup. And see, any French tournament piano, Rich Chelsea are one of the favorites. Because big boys, so big boys in there. Then above backups and then crowd team. Chelsea have probably the best in Europe. And this squad was good enough. My only problem is that they consider 3 against Wolves, which is something they must work against now Omuntimi and dealing with that issue. No? Enzo Maresca say it is becoming embarrassing. Say team no enye twin discipline no mu di cards na say na o kana o say Delap e say obobo ne man ho dodo enti even when you give him instructions so pack no so go dia ontie what is around him na enye sa dia enkareka na odi en ontie say because time odi yellow no o ka kire no fan. Rich is not good. Apart from the lab record, no dear. Matisse, one of Chelsea media guys saw more BBC, so Eka said this weekend against Tottenham, I think Kukuera or so, and she is suspended for accumulated cards. Now, over Chelsea team needs to see more honor, and they will need the lap our back in that game because. Jao Pedro say article. I think we'll be 8 games on share. Into area you could have offered alternative because Tariq George money and them there they are for other competitions. Also by I know about the red.
It's becoming one too many.
Too much. And also Otimia addressing Samatani, but Chelsea won, and that is what is important. To reach quarterfinals in the Carabao Cup, Naseti, Arsenal against Crystal Palace, Cardiff, about Chelsea, Man City, about Brentford, and Newcastle, and so about Fulham, in the next stage of the Carabao Cup, and so now you are. Okay,
before baby, you know, Frank OY on YouTube will say, Ansort is just giving flimsy excuses. For his poor managerial decisions to oversee big spending, yet made this post-match comment shows he wouldn't last long.
Like to a larger extent,
to
a larger extent, I agree with him.
Okay,
especially when you were backed. Team now, who the Agile League you already know, who the Agile League. And they still backed you
to 2 players at the same
time. Buy players so that we can have a sustainable team that will be consistent. I bet me I keep it team enough for the future. Which PJ Ekans asked him when the Biameka PJ say, "So yeah, Juma. Not the other our bosses the mawa. Nature so more problem because see the animal area you can't go back and say." You get it.
Who much is giving, much is expected.
And that is what the background of the message in the Bible person.
Also, Basidua, air conning you.
Also, my chocolate type. Yeah,
be our hammer.
Also, private. Yeah,
so home result.
It becomes a problem. It is a Yamousika to beat any team in Europe on the transfer market. Now, the country say, "Oh, squad in more." Then where did you spend the money?
Okay.
And see, I agree with Eddie Pacono. Wait, Minister na Vinícius is here show them right. Because just as we step out of the studio, I don't know apology nearby. Now, as some of Vinícius I can say, today, I want to apologize to all the Madridistas for my reaction when I was substituted in the Clásico. Just as I have already done in person during today's training. I also want to apologize again to my teammates, the club, and the presidents. Now, Rich, I'm going to say a feature in the above. But this apology by from all the international platforms, what they were discussing, they say there is something missing from the apology, and that is the name of the coach. Even when I was listening to Sky breaking the news, they mentioned it. So Vinícius in the apology about read it and said, but Omujini said there is a big omission. Baby Ayirefrimu, which is the name of the coach. Into it, I was worried too. Say, oh, Vinícius, I chop the old bar, Friwakumem, and let it be whole. Maning, and payo. Rich, say no beyond this. He has done a lot too. And it is being reported by AS Dario. The front page of Omu newspaper and I say plan the pace, the peace plan. And say who read this Spanish caps in our front page now. The Omu person Omu change and say Rich, a brand here for the Vinícius Jr has met the coach Xabi Alonso. Wapana chow. And our catcher Xabi Alonso say. Oseno on fan channel na enyo no the way na game ni see the tension and the game and the way he wanted to win the game for Real Madrid no and then ma and he among some now and that it will not happen again. And he on fan channel and he beyond the public apology which Ignaya recognized there was an omission of the coach, you know, Rich, at least Dario AS is giving us information, say, oh, that omission has been sorted. And that Vinícius Júnior, Xabi Alonso, were panacho personally, and Wakata say a BNCBM. And see, that issue is off. But Rich, and I'm a boss, and I'll repeat it. What should Xabi Alonso do again for the Real Madrid players to appreciate him? Rich, and in football, when we are discussing football, what is the benchmark to say, oh, Obi is on the right track and Oyade, and the results of the game? Now, since Xabi Alonso by, Rich, he is the first coach to win the first El Clásico since Zidane in 2016. Since Zidane, 2016, any Madrid coach you want to be a first Clásico, oh yeah, Barcelona Bessel. But Xabi Alonso has broken that. And yeah, but I am very, very significant. Rich, in the Spanish La Liga, Alonso about 13 games. Washemu 12. I said 30 goals. And he's on top of the league with 27 points. And then Rich, you go to the Champions League. And there's a open team, sir. Senkenene Kiambo group stages now. Ome qualify automatically. Rich, Real Madrid is right place fifth. And the fifth is because of goal defense. But the open Omabo 3 games, Oma winning Rich, Real Madrid account 3 games, 9 goals, goal difference of +7. And see, Mashabe first Clásico made the top of La Liga. Made the top, and as I make a that top in the Champions League. 100% record in the Champions League. Rich, and Kasem made him. So why will Athletic pick a source from Spain and say, Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid revolution has caused an early rift with big stars? To the extent, say, players in the resources are telling journalists, say no, I got me yesterday, and I don't go just Pep Guardiola. And no buying a chin train. Young gym side time way player be a 1 to be Cabiano and they can who say team no on home player be a wine way and a wine way and I'm a permitting say my dear me pretty say Ancelotti one way in there papa you con what time you and could do come on we do buy wine so a disciplinarian Munye way we are new we are in time of big players singing look and media come say Rich, do you know so already Athletic article now? They are saying, say, some of the big players are saying they've won trophies without this strict regime now. Xabi Alonso, they matter. But Rich, if you've won trophies in the past, why was Carlo Ancelotti sacked then? It means that they're not more, probably a doing elastic limits, and you need a certain change. And as soon as Real Madrid players in the better say, Rich, they are to flip the bill around Barcelona team. Sir, efficiency, work rate. Exactly what Xabi Alonso is trying to introduce our Real Madrid. No, Sankomoda at say Ancelotti era anymore. They will never beat this Barcelona team, and they will never win anything. Abroad, and we might change. And see, I'm finding it difficult to understand. And Rich say, I no crack. Says I Real Madrid players no a bimu behavior. Rich, I don't want you to pay the only 2 things. It is either they succumb to Alonso or Alonso will leave. Because you're discussing Bebre about player power. Rich said, dressing room one. So, kaka wachi asem kakra na eya kwa kofa asem kese de abrewo. Nti is either you identify omo ye bad notes, then quickly get them out. Na watimi enya u dressing room a ope na omo ne o ye adwen so meye adwuma na ma. And I said bibi say Rich, I don't understand Real Madrid players no because the results is on the side of the coach. And as soon as I say there is a new regime, no, I bet me abwa omo. I don't know if I have 1 minute and I say 2 minutes.
Okay, Mama, 1 minute never wrap
1 minute.
1 minute.
It seems as they say there every day, and I cry every 6 months. If I'm football, you know, I want to change something, and I like it. And China, say this season, so we are goalkeeper now. Cheba, 1 to terminate the 8 seconds or some major connect your team, and it is working perfectly. Now, Rich, I think from the last World Cup, any who say FIFA and I just say time the bubble, obviously a boss time. And many of us were surprised, and then you bet no game away. You see, injury time here, the 9 minutes, 12 minutes. First, me and who's that? If I found a church, as I say, that is what they've told the referees to do. Say, game, no, time will be a West Tibiano. They should make sure it is being played on the pitch. Now, Rich, you saw what the people for about. And it is because of the observations of my. Now, let's use the English Premier League as an example. Rich, according to the Athletic, I almost see data from Opta. Ubejedi say, Rich, Saoka Premier League teams in bomb this season. They've wasted close to 70 minutes on throw-ins. The Odi home for power air Brentford.
Akwano to true no. True ne ba, afe no or town view.
Rich, you see Brentford on the average. I spend 25 seconds as I want to throw.
Okofata we no abepepa ball no na wa connect ya be tuboyi. Oto aso ato obi na boko na neba. And then on social media we be sure say imagine Arsenal team was akwana.
Let's omunya corner e corner. Omunya try e corner.
The be Arsenal be good.
But Rich, up to now so say who compare season by season? Rich, on the average, there's 11.21 delay in games only because of throw-ins.
Okay.
And if I want to say no me yama say keep a chibwa. Otimi delay and sana wa best man aso wa toro. Into 8 seconds. 1, 2 and as influence ma near to connect here with him no. Rich, they've also started deliberations say omo the time limit be baba. Say unya throw.
That's good.
Now we this our time limit throw on to throw now. Probably a better throw no mum etia with him no. And that is what if up urgently and one me principle near. And yet one of those caps I rate.
Okay.
In rating. A competition be for me just an outlet for English clubs, you know, to win something. If you say many fee I may hear Carabao Cup, no. Me a lot of coaches are omo competition with a lot of seriousness. Enti menka omo the Carabao Cup and making a serious case. I season him no. But once it's a competition that we play, they are and once some career as a sports analyst, we will go into it. So let's start from Enra. Arsenal against Brighton. Meaning past not games were being played almost at the same time. And you be an share all the games. Mimi say I was flipping. And they said the first day with TV room show you 15 minutes kaka. No show you kaka. You have an appreciation of their games in the senior will be airborne. No Rich. I saw the Arsenal lineup. And I'm catching him and say, look, Arsenal team way this season competition be a move be the Oman team angel. Rich now you one Oman team angel. Because they've built a squad that is able to rotate among themselves and still be competitive. Look at the Arsenal team that played yesterday. Brighton found it very, very difficult to play against them. Now, Rich, we are still in October. In the month of October, Rich, Arsenal bought 6 games. Oma winning. Oma share 12 goals. Oma concede back.
Arsenal defense they are solid.
And Enra, according
defense.
to Opta, they are the first English team to do that in 1 month. If we say English football, why? Obia Yebida. Not the great
matches.
Manchester United under Fergie. Not the great Man City under Pep Guardiola. Not the great Chelsea under Jose Mourinho. And in 1 month, Obebo 6 games across competitions. Now Obeshaning na Rich. Now on consider 1 goal, not a single one. And these are the games, Rich. Oshe Olympiacos 2-0. And Oshe West Ham 2-0. And Oshe Fulham away 1-0. And Oshe Atletico Madrid 4-0. And Oshe Crystal Palace 1 and then Oshe Brighton 2. Now, who graphic we know, Rich, and yet numbers in the but the 0-0-0-0-0-0 now, and all for Arsenal. They've been a very, very solid team. Not just scoring goals, but Rich, to win tournaments, you need a solid defense. And when I had the bedrock, say over to me, Ako and him, our competition be more. And Arsenal right now looks like some invincible team here. And Kenny, so the ball to Martinum. Now, Rich, look at the teams. And look at where the games are being played. And yet teams will bring a bit in your cottage against Fulham. Now on concede.
It's a London derby.
Yes. How many teams na baba Atletico Madrid?
Now it's all Munchen.
With William Alvarez, money, soul of money, Antoine Griezmann, and not concede. This current Crystal Palace team, actually Liverpool no move. You play against them, you not concede, and you play against Brighton. Say Arsenal to Emirates in the Champions League. Now one concede against Olympiacos, I don't have a problem. Emirates, no one concede against West Ham, I don't have a problem. But they've gone and played games here. If you know the nature of the teams, and where it was played, Rich, you would have suspected that Arsenal will concede. But Bob Akumpo and Topo Martinemu in October, and that is very, very good for Arsenal. Now, Rich, talking about the squad in depth. When we say Enra, Rich, this was Arsenal's bench. David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Julian Timber, Ricardo Calafiori, Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, Vitor Gyökeres.
On to bench.
And that's a bench in here. The team no first 11 no. At the bench, and this is even without players on my prepare. They said Captain Martin Odegaard Muniade. All these players were on the bench for Arsenal. That is how deep our squad no this season, and why they are able to compete very, very well. Rich, I could call the Shebe Kumako. Now, the air to Liverpool no, Areho and SSR. Rich, in the last 3 months, Crystal Palace actually Liverpool at Twaso Miensa across different competitions. Odikachi, August 10th, Community Shield, and Ochano, penalties. Owieno Bechi, the 27th of September, in the Premier League, and was shared 2-1. I was Selwys Park.
Satam Nana, Liverpool competing.
Yes.
And the Crystal Palace is saying.
Yes.
Wow.
And I say what happened on the 29th of October in the EFL, and we're trying to train there at Anfield. And the 3 solid wins in a row across 3 different competitions. So say Liverpool in the Anna slot, you know, almost show Oliver Glass now more to them. The open or do you mobility book say ah. Tell me your Pebiano I hate you. Tell me your Pebiano I hate you. Now, Rich, the results is known, but it is not a Crystal Palace problem. Which you extend it further Now, what you have to say, Liverpool are in crisis when you see BBC say, which the last 7 games at Liverpool abono, which almost lose 6. This Liverpool team, I almost started season, you know, winning every game. Now in their last 7, almost lose maku 6 of them. 3-0 against Crystal Palace. 3-2 against Brentford. The only game they've won was 5-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. Manchester could show me 2-1, Chelsea show me 2-1, Galatasaray show me 1-0, then Crystal Palace again. Rich, Liverpool, Obi can come here and do that. Said this Liverpool team, the way almost started season way, will go 7 games and they'll win only 1.
Me after Eintracht Frankfurt win 5, no.
You thought you were back.
You're back. Until almost about Brentford lose the game.
Yes.
And I was like,
there's
something wrong.
Okay, probably I do so. Then they go again.
Now Crystal Palace has such a 3-0.
The results is embarrassed and it was at the Anfield. Now we go back to Liverpool lineup now they start here. Rich, then Obia Otie Shapo Sports Biano. It takes us back to the transfer season. Messi Mekaipa, when we posted the analysis after a year live show on the weekend, but Liverpool fans, almost so many young doing that. Say I can say team no, the squad no do enough, and that they need to plug some holes. You can't spend this amount of money, and your team doesn't look deep. Giddy. Now, Rich, this was Liverpool's team and Woodman, Gomez, Endo Atara, Kirkic, McAllister, Chiesa, Robertson, Nioni, Ramsey, Morrison, Ngomoa. Na enyamina miko. Yebo game ni wiye no. Then Anna Slot is back with their transfer discussion and year discussion. Rich, Liverpool spent 446 million. Breaking the record and all Anna Chelsea Nikuta in the summer transfer. 446 million. That is after adding Isaac. Rich, Nasi Ye Nasi mu coach Ebo EFL Cup we are. Nana Asam say, and I'm sure you've seen the quote. Or say, I also know Master Ball. Or share Manchester City line up nearby. No. And who say City actually give the players now on ball last weekend in the Premier League. Omu nyina Bobby. Next so omu ball last weekend in nyina Bobby no. And now Usha City line up now. At the say omu first level now.
Oh, that's the one.
I see you Chelsea money at the crowd here. And say Asamu cry Diego. So what Anna Slot is saying, and an extension of Nassima Okan, or say, it is clear in the last few weeks, we have always had to play 2 days after we played the last game after a difficult game in Europe. If you look at the week coming up, that is going to be a big week for us. Everyone in the club, we need as many players available as we can. We can see today with the lineup I had to make. That shows you. We already have a few injuries. With a big week coming up for me, it felt the best choice. Also, the squad no anymore. Also, injuries kakara. And also big games ever. And see, EFL already. No kwani many a free thing in Liverpool tradition and say omo the academy boys be bring ebo. Nti only choice than to select South squad na your boss to say omo no mko game no. Nti if he has lost, he has lost. And no kwani many the rich. Say oh you fair to Anna Slaughter. Oh share the lineup no. Now the Toto Oliver Glasner Diana. He took the game serious. Yeah. Because Obia winning say oh yeah available a big boy for Crystal Palace. Yeah, played yesterday. including Sano say 2 goals. No,
Sano so the Liverpool and Liverpool be over.
Mateta played. Gueye played.
The days I think Watford or so.
No,
sure, most
still
no, sure.
Yes. And Rich, Liverpool coach, now agree with us. Say the squad no do enough. Then the question you ask and say, if you were the biggest spender around Europe, now say, because of squad didn't deep enough, then why did you spend the money? I think
you know so I'm telling you anymore.
Don't kese no do.
Yes, you.
To Isaac wo Isaac wo.
Because I have to Isaac. There's no need over Sakofa Ekitiki.
Get it.
It is when Ekitiki there. My Isaac in train baby.
Defensive Salamone. Oh, he could have been.
Because Gapo they say this is your form power.
Oh, Gapo has always been
form power.
And Louisiana score equally. Ama why not you say this is never anything I will play it well.
There's no need for to play as me.
See, on one okay. This time around, I have
that. Many friends say about.
Oh, so.
Oh, shut
you will come good. Rich. Enra, at a point in the game, now Crystal Palace fans of Marco Anfield, you are getting sacked in the morning. And see, me Liverpool, no me. Busa say, is he getting sacked today? But we say,
I'm
Koko Ayenkra anopa tutu no akochro say baby a Liverpool ko no sake ko nyam say hey it is too early. Aye, it is too early.
The chairman Koko Ayenkra
aye
me boss ba ko
so no club or a club person
yeah
enti ana slot today on said I'm feeling gidi bia enti that is the story of Tima ye funny Liverpool ewo ho Rich so I'm the funny mo de ko share first goal to me no di 3 eyes of boss anka wo no udi ba ko abedi miensa but mekai when City elusi on last Premier League game against Aston Villa me disa graphic we ba be catch you say City is turning too much into a one-man team Erling Haaland and statistics ni there they say Rich so why she go na Obia intimi she goes ni biem. And that must change quickly if the Manchester City be say omoya contenders. And see Enra, I was happy there were other people who have taken the man to say also must have so much goals in the at the Manchester City. And see after conceding first goal no, Jeremy Doku taker, Omar Marmoush back from injury, ebe share, and Ryan Cherky, and so ebe share. Again, Rich. Se utie Pep Guardiola. Pep say, still now, Okosia teams are. They still play low block, deep block against them. And so when your players are, omuti how to unlock those tiny spaces last year. And I am on a brain. Rich, that is the reason why Pep had to top players be said, Ryan Cherky. But they were injured. And Enra, when he was back, Obian will say, these are the reasons why Oria friend Pep Guardiola spent money on a bright friend Ryan Cherky, super player. Me Obia under pressure. Or your arrogance, Rich Aquawi, or you're very arrogant under pressure. What the boy the man as on Obia, as a training, as on book Obia Akebia. The person of the money and one of person of the money, even when you are coming at him and all that, he's a special player. Onyam exploding was City, but any other games are one. HSS or fit him quadia, he will help the way and conform more against City no and unlock. And City didn't have a problem. Almost to pay away team friend Swansea and Pep say, oh, you're very impressed. Especially some more attack against 10 players and the way they were able to find the spaces against Omo. Now